Okay, recording. So welcome. Thanks for joining me. I've had a request to show people how to draw the harmonic scanner onto their trading view, so we can go through that. I'll just take you briefly into my group, not because I want to confuse anyone or take us away from Ninja Forex traders. If you are full members, then that is our team hub. I focus specifically on Harmonic Scanner and pitchforks, which is a strategy I learned long before we had the two strategies we currently use. But I've started doing, where is it? I do this very late Sunday night. I can't promise I'll do it every week, but I do it like around midnight, 1 in the morning, just after markets have opened. Saturday night, I now set up my charts and have a look at whether there's a new scan. So that I find is working for me. I don't like to hop on the charts without having mentally prepared and set charts up a couple of hours before, so I know what I'm looking for and I've set alerts. I find that the best way to trade for me. So I will post this as well in Ninja Forex Traders, so to look at the charts for the week. Well, not the week, it's kind of market open, because they obviously move. So GBP USD, that has moved up 20 pips. Euro NZD, I haven't checked, and Euro AUD, I'm actually in that at the moment, but I don't think I followed exactly the prices I put there at market open, because obviously you have to check these. And then something I wanted to show you was obviously the North Americas come on to that session if they see me on. So some of our team members were on, and Gary said took 15 pips on Euro AUD, pips are few and far between the last week, so I secured the bag. So that was nice to know that that had come out of you know, looking at, because they were on the call. So let's start by going over to Forex Factory, and welcome if you're on the 7-day free trial. We've had the most fabulous session this morning with Paul and John going through the 25 to life strategy, which I thought was really amazing, and John Doherty will be training on that on Wednesday. So if you are at work and can't get on that, please do watch the recording, because that is a very simplest strategy for everyone to start making real pips, really get going and get confident, and then you can branch out to other strategies. So we've got Japanese yen bank holiday all day today, and we had some euro announcements. Nothing more that's going to affect us today. Let me just go through, have a look at some of the pairs I looked at. So let's go. I'll go to the scanner. Now, if you are on the 7-day free trial, then you'll be in the financial freedom movement group. So please make use of the time to go through the units. There's been a lot of care and attention over the months and years that's gone into that. And if you've joined, then the IM Academy is the place to go, as well as our Ninja Trade Hub. Go through units 1, please, of the IM Academy. You'll find it here. And units 2, 3, and 4 go into great detail of specific things. So have a look at that like a library. So we're going to go on to strategies. The Harmonic Scanner is free. So here you'll see the products, and then this is the Harmonic Scanner. And I'm not sure if we'll find a new one to draw. Now you can choose whatever you want in terms of scan size. This is M15 time frame. You just have to decide what works for you. The bigger the scan, the stronger and more solid they are. If I measure this from C to D, that's 38 pips. It says 389, but that's a decimal point. It's a pipette. So it's 38 pips. So that's too small for me, because I like to do a minimum of 80, because I put a pitchfork on, which is this little thing here. And once you've drawn that from X to C to D, it gives you trend lines that are very accurate based on maths, and each pitchfork leg would be 20 pips. So that's how I work out my 10 pip stop loss to 20 pip ratio. And I'm looking for price reversal off the pitchfork and off quarter theory. And then I can get a very tight stop loss on the 1 minute entry for the 20 pips. So that's just the one strategy that I use. So we'll look on the hourly one. Let's just, all these brokers are the same in terms of you can use any of the scans. You can take the trade that it gives you as well. And as I say, John on Wednesday will be going through how to specifically put one simple set of fibs. That's down here. That's the one you want, fib retracement. He'll go into the settings. You just save the settings on your trading view, and then you'll be good to go with taking a very nice little trade off this specific D point. Very, very highly successful strategy, which we're all very excited about. So let's have a look at this. That looks like a small one. Oh no, it isn't, is it? That says 162 pips. I don't think I'll have this one. Now the only problem, if you want to call it a problem with this one, is it's what's called a shark pattern, and sharks bite. So you have to wait for it to have got to the second entry point. It's the only pattern that has 2 entry points, or you wait for it to get to TP1. So I measure to see as well how many pips it's moved. It's moved 43. So we can draw this, and this is how I do them. Now, it might look a bit fiddly, but once you've done several of them, you will find it, you know, it speeds up, because basically you're copying and pasting and joining the dots. And once you've got it on accurately, they're valid forever. And you'll always have a trade to go to. It's just fantastic. So what we're going to do is make sure that our, let me just reduce that. Our time zone must be the same as your local time zone. I'm on Paris time, and it's put me in Athens or wherever. So I need UTC +1 down here, bottom right, and that must line up with your, is that the scanner glitching? Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that today. Try again. All right, don't know why I did that. Okay, let's try again. So UTC +2, let's hope it doesn't make it glitch. UTC +1. So move your vertical cursor, you can see the dotted line moving, and you're looking at the date and time stamp at the bottom. So you can start either at the D or the X, but you're looking for, you can look at it visually as well. You're looking for low, high, low, high, low, or the other way around. This is a buy scan with the D point at the bottom. A sell scan would have the D point at the top. So X, I'm going to write down, now it's written in American isms, so it's got the month first. It's 2020-02-21. So I always write that down as 2102 at 2100 hours. And then the A point, move it across and write down 2402 at 0200. And they're all alliterative. B is 2402 at 05. C is 2402 at 08. And D point is 2402 at 1300. Move that out the way and double check that. Yeah, so now we're going to go over, this is GN H1. Going to go over to, I don't think I've got that one pulled up here. That's just come up, the alert on EN. I'm not in this. This was just a markup. So let's change to GN there. Quite a fast moving pair, and with GBP pairs you do need a 15 pip stop loss. And obviously it depends on your time frame and the strategy you're using. So here's our scan. And you need to put it on the same time frame that you're drawing the scan on. So that one is that D point. Yeah, I was just double checking I didn't have it. So what I'll do is I'll fade out these lines so that we can draw our new scan without, and take off quarter theory. Just hide that. So we've got a clean screen. And we're looking for the X. So there are two ways you can do this. You can visually look where you've got highs, lows, lows. There's the low point that we're looking for. There's I'll just move that off as well. Or you can take the brush. Neither's right nor wrong. It just depends on visually how you like to do things. So the X point, 21st of the 2nd at 2100. Make sure I'm on UTC +1 Paris time, so that's correct down at the bottom. Can't see it myself now. Just double check. Down there, just that was closed. That gap is market opening on Sunday, which is there. Right, let's make it bigger. Let's get rid of, sorry, get rid of that. Right, so 21st at 21. That's there. So come down to your left-hand menu, see the little 5-point reversal star, the scanner shape here. Now when you click on it, it's the first one at the top. Left click on your mouse just once to grab it. You now have those 5 points held on your mouse. So the mistake I used to make when I first did it was keep clicking, and of course that just putting points over the same place. So I haven't clicked anything yet, and I'm just going to put that. So it's lined up at the bottom, as you can see, 21st the 2nd at 2100. One click there. Then you're going to move up to the next high point, and we're looking for 24th of the 2nd at 02. So that looks like the next high point, and indeed it is. That's the A point. Then B, next low point, which looks like it's going to be that little one there. 24th of the 2nd at 5. Yes, it is. The next high point you can see visually is that C point there. 24th at 08. Yes, it is. And then the D point's the next low, and that's all there is to it there. And I don't know why these have gone to white, because I always do mine in pink. And just see if I can, there we are. So there's our scan on, and now my strategy that I learnt is to use pitchforks for trend lines. So just bear with me while I complete this. So I go to pitchfork on the X to the C, and all this is doing is giving me, with Fibonacci maths built in, trend lines with maths built in Fibonacci, which makes them very precise and very accurate if they're drawn accurately. And that's, I'm using the reversal points of the quarter theory here. So this sort of point here, where it's quarter theory, well, it's halfway between the two. So for a quarter theory is 50 pip gaps. So that's how I'm working out how strong I've got a ping, you know, a boomerang to take price off those reversal points, because price will move between those points. So from here you go, once you've got your scan on, You might be using another strategy, absolutely fine. If you do want to use pitchforks, go down to the 1 minute. Do make sure your magnet is on at the top, by the way, when you're drawing the scan on, and if you're drawing pitchforks on, because it then sucks the point to the wick. Now, when you come down to the 1 minute, you can see on the hourly, we've got one 60-minute candle. And of course, in the minute chart, we've got 60 1-minute candles to make up the hour. So although it looked accurate on the 1 hourly, you can see that it's off. And then the reason it's important that it's on accurately is because if you're 1 pip off, and they all look about the same, don't they? So at this point, you just pick one that you. It's just forming. I'm looking down at the 1 minute. I'm looking at 60 of those. So I'm going to pick a point. And the reason you want to make sure it's accurate is because over a period of time, it can go out 50 or 60 pips. So I'm going to go to the nearest to 1300. That's 1313. You don't have to move the shape across because the pink blob is just giving you the shape. But I like to, but you don't have to. And you can zoom in as well if you need to make it look bigger. So up to the C point, you can see that's slightly off as well. Obviously, it needs to be, pitchfork needs to be sucked onto that high wick there. That's clever, right. And then down to the B, pull that over a bit. There, it just sucks on if you've got the magnet on. And the A point looks like it's in the middle there. And then just down to the X. And again, that's not on exactly. So once you've done that, go down to your little object pile at the bottom. And now you can lock on your scan. And in my case, lock on the pitchfork. Come back out, go back up to the hourly. And normally, before I've got this far, I will have gone back, forgot to do that, and just check that it looks the same as the pattern. So we just look quite. Let's go back to the scanner. You can see it does look the right shape. So let's see what we've got here, and that's how you draw a scan. So as we're on that D point, we can look at this in terms of a trade. So on the Harmonic Scanner, we can look at here's price just coming up to TP, take profit 1 there. So we had an entry at 2.04043, take profit 1 at 2.04399, and take profit 2, I won't bother with take profit 3 at the moment, at 2.04781. So let's go back to GN and go to the 15-minute, which is where I look at chart setups. So you can see that this is the 1 minute moving average, 62 EMA, very similar to the 50 that we use on Be Your Own Bank, and that is still above the 15-minute one, which is just showing the 1 minute trend on the 15-minute chart. So I know that the most recent trend therefore is above, and price has it's not come back yet to retest this trend line here. So I would expect it to want to do that before I'd think about getting into a trade, although it did move up quite a lot. And it looks like it's still on the way up because the green sell candle is not an engulfing candle. Let's see what happened on the hourly. they're quite similar, aren't they? But on the hourly, you can see that it's closed above the quarter theory. So price is still moving up. And on the 15 minutes, it's just trying to come through that quarter theory. So I'll just show you this more closely on the 1 minute. And this is how I get 10 pip stop losses, because I'm entering on the on the 1 minute. So it's not now probably going to come back through and test this line, although it is struggling at this level. So it could drop down because it hasn't quite broken through. It did there, which was, what time was that? That was just at the open of New York. This is the sessions indicator at the top. So it GBP did move quite a bit, but then has dropped back down. So I've been reading some reports this morning that it is in a downward trend. But I wouldn't want to get into this for a buy until it clears that point at 2.04, 2.04, and normally I'll look for a 10 pip break and retest of a level. So I'd want it to go up to 2.0410, and then drop back again and then take off. So that's what I'd be looking for there. So there's no trade here for me at the moment, and indeed it could well fall back down here. Who knows? You know, if it's consolidating at the moment, and it's got to clear that line at the moment. And just put on something called the hull to see what the trend is. This is one I use for the exits, but it'll show me in the 15-minute time frame whether, well, that says price is moving up now. It's just on, this is 15-minute, the bands at the back. So it's just changed to green. So it does want to clear that quarter theory according to the hull. So if you were looking at a buy, make sure you're comfortable that it's broken and retested the quarter theory line like this. And then, sorry, my computer got in the way. I couldn't draw the line all the way up. Just hit the hard drive. Just get rid of that. The next level it will be aiming at would be here, which is TP. I got 2.04344, and you can see the take profit one on the Harmonic Scanner was 2.04399. So very, very similar to my pitchfork level that I've just drawn. Very similar, because the big money in the markets moves to levels, and these are people, as you know, with 250 pip stop losses, putting on, sitting in trades for months at a time. So where are they going to put their stop losses? What levels are they going to move to? They're always going to move to these zeros and these fives, because they make their money, most of them, out of how many trades they place. Some of them do get bonuses on wins, but they're paid to place trades, and that's what they're doing in the day. And what we're doing as day traders is we're taking advantage of the slippage in their strategies, because we're tiny in the market compared to them. So we can make money by looking to see where they're settling up, and moving our stop profit and take profit accordingly, so that we can catch some pips, where to us 45 pips, 50 pips is a lot, but to them they're just not thinking like that. This is 50 pip band here between these orange lines, and they're working this, up like 150, 100, 150, 250. They're doing these massive swings. So and we're just staying within here, and taking advantage of that trading strategy. So that's how you draw a scan. We'll move on and look at some other pairs. That was quite a good one to find. We could look to see what else is going on the scanner. Euro ord. This is the one I'm in. So that is coming down. Have a look and see what's going on. So this is the rejection off the D point, but we had quite a gap at market open, and you can see it went right back up there. So it's come down below quarter theory. I then put a fib on. It's a sell scan, so I put the fib on from the high point there down to there, which was the next low point that I found, and I had all these rejections. Sorry, this rejection here off the 78 and all these rejections here just slipped a little bit off that 88.6. So I have got into that trade. I've got my stop loss above quarter theory and above the, sorry, yes, and the pitchfork is there, but I've got some old, I think I've got some old pitchforks coming in there, which I've faded out. And it's just coming down now below the 62. If I go down to the 1 minute, perhaps let's have a look at what it's quite slow moving there. So in fact, it's just coming up again. So it might be coming up to retest this again. I might be in a little bit of drawdown. But anyway, I'm in it now, as they say. So we'll see what that does. And if I go back up to the 15 minutes, just show you the scan. And I'll take the fib off to clean it up a bit. And I don't think I really need that. I tried to draw a 15-minute channel, but you can see it's kind of broken out of that. You want at least 3 touches. And I did think about putting it there, but that didn't kind of do very much for me either. So I left it down there, but I'm not sure it's doing very much at the moment. It just seems to be sidling along a bit. But, you know, we'll see how it goes. So I had the rejections off quarter theory. It did come below. The 62 has not crossed above the 15. It's just slow moving. If I have a look, I think actually, I'm not sure the hull. I'm sure the hull might have been going green when I last looked at it. Oh, good, it is red now on the 15-minute, and you can see it's dropping. So I haven't set I think I did set a take profit because you guys are on, but I'll probably change that, move it back up, because the first take profit on this for me would be at 1.63800. That's the first level, which would be 15 pips. And then the next one is about 45, that next level, which is 1.63500. So that's a trade I'm in. If you want to put your indicator on, let's see what you think, work it out, then please do. And if you've got any questions, then, you know, please ask. So I'll come out of that one. Oh, I didn't like the fire today, and I've got a scarf on. I'm shivering. I'm sorry if I sound like I'm shivering, because I am shivering. Right, so CAD JPY, another New York session pair. It close of market. I had it up there. It didn't do that. Let me show you the hourly so you can see what the scan's doing. So I had it coming back into this previous buy scan, but it obviously doesn't like that, and it's dropped. That's an old scan, but as I say, they're still accurate, and it's coming back down into another scan down here. So I haven't actually got, and you can see how the 62's turned, so that's forcing price down, and it's dropped below that quarter theory. So depending on what strategy you're using, at the moment, between that and the next level, the next quarter theory, there is 26 pips, and there's a pitchfork coming up here. So you might, let's go to the 15-minute. Now, I'm always a bit reluctant when it's bank holidays to take those particular pairs, but some people say, well, you know, people are still trading. Well, I know, but I mean, if you knock out half the people the other side of the world who are not sat in an office, not doing trading today, I always think, well, there's other things I could be looking at. So I don't know, it never really excites me to trade. I'm not trading US bank holidays anymore. I learned that last time. No way. But, you know, I mean, it's up to you. So what I'll do is just take off, fade this one out so we're not distracted. Or confused rather. And I'm on the 15 minutes, so the 62 is coming down very nicely. And it's coming into this scan now. So I'll just, the newest scan always takes precedence. But as I say, if you draw them on accurately, let's go to the hourly and see when this scan was from that it's moving back into. So it's moving back into the scan from oh, this is me I put on a second, what you call a second pitchfork, which is a little bit more advanced. Basically, it must be in the opposite direction from the scanner, which was a sell scan, and this pitchfork, therefore, the second one is put on from out in the middle of nowhere, X to A, and you line it up either C or D, must be in the opposite direction, and you get as many touches as you can. So I went for that touch there, that there, and I had touches along here, but it's really its best fit, so you just have to adjust it. I had a touch there, one touch, two touches, three touches, four touches, so I kind of did that, and you know, did what I thought looked about right. So it's coming back into that scan, but on my second pitchfork. So now I'd be waiting for it to do this. Let me go to the 15 minute to show you, and we'll work some figures out, and then you can put your BYOB on. So what it's doing now is it's coming up to retest the 62. If it's above the 62 like that, I'd be in that trade. As soon as it levels off, see it's stalling out along quarter theory, breaking underneath the 62, I'd be out that trade. Because otherwise, if you look at how much time that is another, well, it's not that long actually, another 20 minutes, and you've been sat around staring at it, wondering if it's still going to keep going up. It's hit a pitchfork that I can see in the background, and there's another 13 pips there. But you know, you could bag your money as you see it dropping. It dropped down to the next level like price normally does. It's come back up, hit that level, and then it's come down. And anyway, that was Friday night and market close. So who wants to be sitting in a trade right up until the end? I certainly don't want to be, because you can get caught out very badly. So once price starts to break under the 62, then that is acting like a hand pushing price down, and it's staying under quarter theory. All the confirmations, it's still in a sell mode. You can see this trend here. Like that. So that's it, and I know we've got market open there with that gap, so it does make it a bit weird. You know, we've had quite a few big gaps. So there it is, under the trend, under the 62 and under quarter theory. So I'd be now looking for it to do this, come down, come through quarter theory, break and retest those extensions, and carry on down to that next level. It's either going to do that, because price can only do two things when it's not running along there consolidating, or it's going to come down, touch the 15 minute, the blue line, and quarter theory and the pitchfork, say to itself, that's too much effort, I can't get through all that, and it will want to come back up to there. So you're looking at a price range between, you write this down, CAD JPY of 83.850 down to and look at all those levels it's got to get through there. Very strong level of resistance. So TP1 at 83,500, and that is, what is that, 35 pips? About 30 pips from current price. Oh, let me just look at that. What's that? 83, sorry, 762. So call it 83,800 down to 83,500. There's about 30 pips for you to play with there, but I'll leave that one with you. And USD Chef I commented on slightly earlier on. Slow moving pair. You can see I'm on the 1 minute here. I had this marked up because it had quarter theory plus that pitchfork there. This is an alert line. I do my alert lines in pale blue. I'll take that off. And I'll take that off. So I don't think I've got a lot of scans on this one. When did I draw that one? 31st of Jan. So what's price done? Above the 62. Very powerful when it crosses above the 15-minute one, and quarter theory. Moves up, can't quite make the next level and the pitchfork, so the price will then drop back down to its previous level, which it did. Then moves up to the next level, breaks through to the pitchfork, comes back down, perfectly respecting the level, a reject off the pitchfork, consolidation, two rejects off the quarter theory, and it's coming back down and breaking down through there with the 62 coming down. So this looks like it's selling, and that's why I had it marked up, but it's changed its mind, so I'm going to take that off because the 62 is decided to cross back down. It's at a very interesting point at the moment. Slow moving pair. So you've got, just look at this more closely. So what we've got happening at the moment is we've got, we had the 62 crossover, but it doesn't seem to like it. It looks to me like it's coming back down to cross it back down again. So if it, and you've got a pitchfork and you've got quarter theory, so that's a really, really nice entry for a sell. With a 10 pip stop loss. Come on. And down 20 pips. So you're going to look for a break and a read. Don't rush into a trade. There's your figures if you are interested in this one. USD CHF, slow moving pair, 0.98097, thereabouts for your stop loss. Entry at 0.97997, and a take profit of, that gives you a 2-to-1 of 0.97797. So you can see the figures, you know, 997, 797, and then add on your 10 up there would give you the 0.9798, 0.97. So what you want to look for is this, where it comes down here, breaks by 10, let it break and let it retest those lines, and that's when you get in. As Christopher Derrick always says, Christopher Terry, I can't remember which one, Christopher Derrick, I think, no retest, no entry. No retest, no entry. So I always stick to that rule. And off that point there, well, it just needs to be slightly deeper. So you want it at about 928, but you can use your measuring tool to do that. But 10 pip break and retest and you've got it below the pitchfork and quarter theory, protecting you with your stop loss, you could probably go in with an even less stop loss, which would get your risk to reward ratio up to 4 on winning 20 pips, which is a very nice percentage gain. So that's up to you how you do your figures. And I'm going to go down to the 1 minute, and you can see on the 1 minute the 62 has crossed, and it's under quarter theory, and it's under the in fact, if we measure it now, probably it's test. Can you see how it's staying below the 62? So you're probably safe to get in on the 1 minute. It's definitely saying it's let's have a look. You see what that the HALS tells us it's going to go up, because it can come. I don't think you are safe to get in. I think I take that back, because it'll want to come back up. I think when that's saying red, I think it will want to. I think price likes to come back up and test these lines, or it's done a break and a retest there. That's only 4 pips though. Looks deceptive, doesn't it? So I would definitely wait for that to do this, and the figures still apply. Maybe that, or maybe even on the 15 minute. Sometimes price can do that before coming down. Might test that line, and you don't want to be in drawdown if you don't have to be. Okay, so that's USD Chef. That's a very nice little setup there. What should we move on to next? I don't think I had anything on GBP Chef. Swiss franc is moving back in. Again, same sort of thing. I was waiting for it to come back into the extensions. That's trading view glitching when the line goes up like that. It's nothing. It's not a line. It's the quarter theory glitches when price touches it, and there's nothing I can do about that. So again, you've got a sell position. You've got the 62 coming back down. Prices coming back into the extensions, and a break and a retest there. But what's your gap between that and the extension? 25 pips. So you want to wait for price to get below 1.26290, do a break and a retest of that line. As it retests, then you're in down to that level of 1.26, which is the quarter theory, and the next level it will go to. And if it does a break and a retest there, then you're looking to price, and that's a nice little area of resistance, price to drop to that level and want to come down to, let's call it 1.25 flat, but you know, it'll probably stop a bit short of there. You can see it did that over here, stalled out on that line, came back and tested down again, slipped through a little bit, and then carried on up to the next level, stalls again, breaks down back to the next level, takes off again, up at the next level, pitchfork and quarter theory, drops back down, stalls out along there, you know, next level, up to that next level, down to that next level, up to the next level, down to that next level, some slippage through there, stalls along. That's what price does. After you've had a stall out, it will go one way or the other. Above quarter theory, up for a nice little buy, right up there, could have got out there, taken it for the sell there, and oh, mind you, that's the end of market close. So you know, whether you'd want to be in things on Friday afternoon, I don't tend to be. So that's GB Chef. GBP USD, which I know we were looking at on other sessions this morning. Let me just get rid of that, tidy it up a bit. So this is off the D point. So we were looking at that on the 25 to life strategy. It did actually, let me show you on the 1 minute, because I've got a bigger zoom in. So this white solid line is our D point line. So it came down and you know, it did slip right outside. So that's what the big brokers and markets are doing. They're trying to take you out on your stop loss down there. So even though I had a 15 pip stop loss, I did get taken out of that. I should have got back in, but I didn't. I went over to Europe ORD instead because let me just move that along. I had my entry straight on the quarter theory. It stalled out, and sure enough, it went up and it did do the 20 pips. But, you know, all good. These things happen. I just, you know, went off and did something else, whereas really I should have got back into that one. There's no harm in getting back into a trade. And sometimes if, say, I'd been in that for a buy and it had faked out and not wanted to do it and it had gone for the sell, as long as I've got stopped out at break even or -1 pip, I will change my mind and say, oh, wrong decision, price is moving back the other way, breaking down under quarter theory, and I'll get it in it for the sell when I've been in a buy. So, you know, you just have to, if you're on top of your correct entries and you've done your setups, then you've got your eye on the road and you know what you're driving towards, then, you know, that's equally fine as well. And you can see I actually put my alert lines and everything, but anyway, all good. So that's GBP USD. It's still a buy. It's moved too far off quarter theory for me to get into it. I'll be looking at that next level now, or for it to drop back down again if it's going to do that, you know, till I look at that again. Euro GBP, where are we on this one? I know I had quite a few scans marked up from, if anyone's got any questions coming up to the hour, please feel free, you're very welcome. So this was a buy scan, and that was from the 31st of Jan, and it's moved its way, completed, gone all the way back down. That will have been news there. Hit quarter theory, slipped through the pitchfork, bottomed out, and coming back up through the levels. I don't think I've got a new scan on this. So if I go to the 15-minute, quite a slow pair, Euro GBP. So let me take the alert off, just clean it up a bit. So when I was looking at this Sunday night, I thought, okay, is price going to come down and test that and drop? The answer is no. It decided not to do that. Let me just take that off as well. And in fact, it has done this. So that's what it's done. So I marked that up on Sunday. So it decided from opening of market, which was here, that black gap is the weekend close of markets. There's Tokyo opening there, and it stalled out a bit, and then all through London, all through Tokyo, it stayed stalled out. That pip range is only, you wouldn't expect Euro GBP to move a lot of pips in Asian session. Let's just so it's gone Asian session from there down to open of London. It's only moved nine pips. That's why you don't get into trades which are outside their sessions, or you think about it very carefully. Because if you look back, say 10 days, and you draw vertical lines on, then you can see where a pair will move. So Euro GBP, open of London, and there it made its big move already for the day. That's a 50 pip range. It's done 50 pips. And as the market speeds up, you will find GBP pairs. That's where you'll get your 50, 60 pip swings in London. Let's just look back through one previous session. Yellow is London. And there, in fact, I found earlier in this year, it's been moving at the open of New York for some strange reason. Did that on more than one day. But this is more normality. So now what's happening is the 62's crossed above. It is still in a strong buy mode. and price is now on that dotted pitchfork. It is a sell pitchfork, so you are trading against the trend, and you are out of London session, but that is still in buy mode. So I'm going to stop sharing now. We're just coming up to the last 2 minutes. Euro USD, that is a sell scan, working its way down quite nicely under the 62. It's just testing the pitchfork now. Let's go to the 1 minute, see more closely how far it is. So you can just moving. You can see you want a break and a retest of that point, 1.08125 thereabouts. Please wait for it to break and retest like this. You're thinking of selling it, and down to that next level at 1.08. Okay, so that's the last pair for today. I'll try and write some of them up to put in the watch list. And I hope that I'm going to stop the sharing so you can and I hope that you enjoyed the session today. Found out who the noisy one is. So thanks very much for joining, everyone. I'll see you all tomorrow.
Thanks, Sarah. That's great.
You're welcome. Do reach out to me if you've got any questions.
Thank you.